Hello friends, myself Disha Patel. Today I am here to present CPU cooling, which is in microprocessor and computer organization, which course is guided by Jaina ma'am and Ritesh sir. Now, what is CPU cooling? So basically, CPU coolers are designed to dissipate heat produced by the processor that sit in the heart of the PC. The various components of CPU cooler are fan, radiators, and other components, which allows for the accumulated heat energy to flow away from vital working parts without damaging the hardware. And these are some properties of CPU cooling. Now, what is the effect of heat in CPU cooling system? So, heat changes junction behavior at semiconductor level, while increasing in resistance will increase the heat too. And thermal runaway, a device failure due to heat energy produced. Also, the high operating temperature decreases the processor life. Now, moving further with the CPU power consumption, so chips will have TDP, that is thermal design power rating. For example, Intel i7-4770K will have 84 watt of TDP, while that of Intel i3-4200Y will have 11.5 watt of TDP. And also the maximum level of heat will be dissipated during that process. Talking about CPU packaging, so firstly, CPU packaging requires the heat spreader, which is made up of copper, thermal paste, which is made up of ceramic or metal basic, and which will create, that paste will create the full contact between the surface of the chip and the heat spreader. Now, talking about the types of CPU coolers, so there are basically two primary types of CPU cooler. First one is air coolers and second one is liquid cooler. Here we'll concentrate on liquid cooling technology. So basically liquid cooling technology is none other than radiators for the processor inside a computer. Like an automotive radiator, a heat cooling system circulates a liquid through a heat sink attached to the processor. As the liquid passes through the heat sink, the heat will transfer from the hot processor to the cooling liquid. And there are five components of heat liquid cooling technology. First one is integrated pump, then cold plate unit, heat exchanger, liquid tubes, and cooling liquids. Talking about the structures of liquid cooling technology, so as you can see that at the base level, at the bottom level, CPU will generate the heat shown by the arrow. Above it, the heat transfer through the cold plates into the cooling liquid would be takes place, and that cooling liquid will pass through the two tubes connected with the motherboard, and that other hand of the tubes are connected with the heat exchanger or the fan. And the working of that fan there is that it will create a gentle breeze towards the heat exchanger, and the heat from the cooling liquid is transferred to the breeze and heat will be removed further. Now, why do we use the water cooling system over air cooling system? So firstly, it will provide the high level of efficiency. That is, as we all know, that water transfer heat more effectively because of the high thermal conductivity. And essentially, we are comparing the central air system to the box fan. That is, we are comparing air system with the water system. So we prefer water cooling system more. Then second one is less noise, that is a water cooling kit will reduce the need to use more than one fan in our PC. So as self-contained loop of the water contains good quality of water and water cools quietly, so we don't have to worry about fans breaking your focus while fighting with the others system. Third one is it sustains good cool temperature over the time. Yeah. Fourth one is liquid cooling takes up less space than that of fans. So yes, liquid tubes are thinner than that of the fans. Fifth one is liquid cooling offers cooling specific components and cools off high performance CPUs. Talking about the disadvantages of the liquid cooling system is that obviously it will have corrosive effect, and it may cause short circuit due to electricity, and deionized water may be required. So this was all about liquid cooling system and CPU cooling system. Thank you.